Okay, welcome to Module 10.2. Again, we're focusing on the marketing mix and the promotion P. Within the promotion P is also personal selling and sales management. Let's begin. What, why, and how questions. First, we'll start off by looking at what is the sales environment and what are some advantages and disadvantages related to personal selling. Why is personal selling important and how does it work? Then we'll switch our attention to sales management. Why is sales and customer relationship management so important? And how does sales and customer relationship management work? Let's begin. What is the sales environment and what are some advantages and disadvantages of personal selling? The sales environment includes salespeople, and this can be consumer focused or business focused. The sales environment changes constantly as new competitors enter the market and old competitors leave. Rapid increase in new sales technologies are changing the ways in which customers interact with salespeople and learn about products and suppliers. In order for companies to successfully sell products or services, they must be effective at personal selling and sales management, as well as customer relationship management and managing technology and trends related to technology. Personal selling. Personal selling is that face-to-face, one-to-one kind of relationship of selling to individuals or organizations, and has both advantages and disadvantages. Advantages include that you can provide detailed explanations or product demonstrations. You can also tailor or customize your message based on the motivations of the prospective customer. It also can be directed at specifically qualified targeted customers or prospects. Some disadvantages include the cost per contact. It's much greater to have that human contact. It costs more to train and develop and to pay individual salespeople. If the sales force is not properly trained, the message provided can be inconsistent and even inaccurate and do damage. So continual sales force management and training are necessary. Salespeople can convince customers to make unnecessary purchases, and that's not necessarily good for customers, society, or the brand. Those are both the strengths and the weaknesses, or advantages and disadvantages of personal selling. What are the similarities and differences between personal selling, ads, and even sales promotions? Let's take a look. Personal selling is more important if the product has a high value, if it's a custom-made product, there are a few customers, maybe it's technically complex, or customers are concentrated. So it could be insurance policies, airplane engines, things like that. But advertising and sales promotion are more important and more effective if the product has a low value, if it is a standardized product. There are many customers and the product is easy to understand and customers are geographically dispersed. You could think of maybe soap or magazine subscriptions or even cotton t-shirts. So why is personal selling important? Why do we care? Let's take a deeper look. Personal selling relates a lot to relationship selling, and relationship selling is sometimes called consultative or problem-solving selling. Relationship selling is a sales practice that involves building, maintaining, and enhancing interaction with customers in order to develop long-term satisfaction through mutually beneficial partnerships. It's a multi-stage process that emphasizes personalization and win-win outcomes. Emphasis shifts from one-time sale to a long-term relationship. You're not just trying to sell them something, you're trying to build a relationship. Technology has aided and impacted and accelerated personal selling. Technology can help to improve the relationship between the salesperson and customer. Cell phones, laptops, text messaging, and electronic organizers allow salespeople to be more accessible more of the time. For customers, the web has become a powerful tool providing accurate and up-to-date information on products, pricing, and even order status. So how does personal selling work? Let's unpack that a little bit more now. There's a sales process or a sales cycle, and the set of steps a salesperson goes through in a particular organization to sell a particular product or service is called the sales process or the sales cycle. First, you need to generate leads. These could be potential customers. Then you actually have to qualify those leads and determine which ones might be the best customers. Approaching the customer and probing their needs to better understand what they might need or want is often critical. And then you develop and propose solutions, and knowing that the customer will certainly have some questions, or you'll need to overcome objections. Then finally, once the objections are overcome, you can close the sale. Follow-up is important and the last step in the selling process. Generating leads. Lead generation is often called prospecting. It's the identification of those firms and people most likely to buy the seller's offerings. And sales leads can be generated in a variety of different ways. Through advertising, through social media, maybe webinars, even direct mail and marketing campaigns. Qualifying leads is the second step. Lead qualification is the determination of a sales prospect's recognized need, their buying power and budget, and receptivity and accessibility. By recognized need means preliminary questioning can often provide the salesperson with enough information to determine whether there is a need. Buying power involves both authority to make the purchase decision and access to the funds to pay for it. Receptivity and accessibility is the prospect must be willing to see the salesperson and be accessible to the salesperson. All of those aspects or elements are important to the second step in qualifying leads. Step 3 is approaching the customer and probing needs. The pre-approach is a process that describes the homework that must be done by a salesperson before he or she contacts a prospect. That could be visiting a website, looking at social media sites, determining if the client should be approached by a personal visit or a phone call or even a letter. Then there's a needs assessment. A needs assessment is the determination of the customer's specific needs and wants and the range of options the customer has for satisfying them. During the needs assessment, the salesperson must know about the product or service. So product knowledge is the cornerstone for conducting a successful needs analysis. Customers and their needs. The professional salesperson brings each client business building ideas and solutions to problems. You're looking at this point for a potential win-win solution where your product or service delivers a great benefit or solves a problem for the client. Also need an understanding of the competition. The salesperson must know as much about the competitor's company and products as he or she knows about his or her own company and how his or her own company solves the problem better or more effectively or even more inexpensively, or all of those. And then the industry. Knowing the industry requires active research by the salesperson. Creating a customer profile during the approach helps salespeople optimize their time and resources. Approach is concluded by summarizing the prospect's need, problem, and interest. Salesperson should get a commitment from the customer to some kind of action when in step 3. The commitment could simply be just to meet again, but commitment is important. Step 4 is developing and proposing solutions. The salesperson develops a solution or possibly several different types of solutions or options in which the product or service solves the client's problems or meets a specific needs. He or she creates a sales proposal. A sales proposal is a formal written document or professional presentation that outlines how the salesperson's product or service will meet or exceed the expectations or the needs of the client. A sales presentation is a meeting in which a salesperson presents the sales proposal to a prospective buyer. Step 5 relates to handling objections. Rarely does a prospect say, "I'll buy it," right after a presentation. The potential buyer may insist that the price is too high or that the good or service will not satisfy the present need. A good salesperson considers those objections a legitimate part of the purchase decision and works to overcome or handle those objections. Customers are often give signals if they are ready to buy or if they're not interested. So step 6 looks at closing the sale. Often this involves negotiation. Negotiation is the process during which both the salesperson and the prospect offer special concessions in an attempt to arrive at a sales agreement. Effective negotiators avoid using price as their negotiation tool and show increased value in their products or services instead, giving unilateral concessions as well. They avoid using price or giving unilateral concessions as well. Step 7 is the follow-up. A salesperson's responsibilities do not end with making the sale and placing the order. The follow-up is maybe one of the most critical points in the whole sales process, and the final step of the selling process in which the salesperson ensures delivery schedules are met, goods or services perform as promised, and the buyer's employees are properly trained to use the product or service. That's a critical part of the sales cycle and process. Follow-up. Okay, let's look at what is sales management. Effective sales management stems from a success-oriented sales force that accomplishes its mission economically and efficiently. Sales managers' responsibilities and decisions focus on defining sales goals and the sales process, determining the sales force structure, recruiting, training the sales force, compensating and motivating the sales force, and also evaluating and measuring the sales force's performance. Effective sales management begins with the determination of sales goals. Sales force goals are usually stated in terms of dollar or financial sales volume, market share, and/or profit level. A quota is a statement of the salesperson's sales goals, usually based on volume. Sales departments are most often organized by geographic regions, product lines, marketing functions performed, markets, industries, individual clients, or accounts. A market or industry-based structure and key account structures are gaining popularity. So sales departments can be set up in a variety of different ways. So why is recruiting, training, motivating, and evaluating, and even compensating the sales force important? To get the right sales managers, you have to know what you're looking for. And often you want somebody with strong ego and a bit competitive. They can be assertive but also sociable. They're willing to take some risks, and they're also capable of understanding complex concepts. They can be creative in their problem solving and also empathetic to customer and client needs. Training, compensating, and motivating salespeople is really important, and good planning includes training and compensation that attracts, motivates, and retains good salespeople, the type of salespeople that you want to be selling your product or service. Evaluating the sales force. Sales managers must evaluate the effectiveness and performance of the sales force. Performance measures include things like sales volume, contribution to profit, maybe calls per order or sales or profit per call, or some percentage of calls achieving specific goals, such as sale of products that the firm is heavily promoting. Performance information helps the sales manager monitor a salesperson's progress and growth through the sales cycle. Okay, and why is customer relationship management an important and critical part of the sales process? Customer relationship management, or CRM, is the ultimate goal of a new trend in marketing that focuses on understanding customers as individuals instead of as part of a group. By identifying customer relationships, understanding the customer base, and capturing customer data, marketers and salespeople can leverage customer information to develop deeper relationships, retain customers, and close more sales with loyal customers in a more efficient and effective manner. So how does the customer relationship management and sales process work? Let's finish up by taking a look at that. CRM is really just about database marketing and management. And a CRM marketing database often has some type of sales campaign. And the first step is to retain your loyal customers. So if you're running a sales campaign to promote a product or service, you want to sell into your loyal customer base. But you also may want to sell in new products or service, so cross-sell other products or service. And as a result, you need to design and target marketing communications based on your campaign goals. You want to reinforce customer purchase decisions and induce new customers to potentially try a product or service. You also want to increase the effectiveness of your distribution channel marketing, and that can be done through a variety of ways. We just spoke a little bit about sales promotion. Naturally, the follow-up and customer service is an important part, and that information can also be captured in the Customer Relationship Management Marketing Database. In a CRM system, the issue is not how much data can be obtained, but rather what types of data you should be acquiring. The traditional approach for acquiring data is through channel interactions, in which includes store visits, maybe conversations with salespeople, interactions via the internet or web, phone conversations, and wireless communications. The large volume of data resulting from a CRM initiative can be managed effectively only through technology. It's just too much data to manage manually. But if you can manage that data and turn it into valuable customer information, then it can become a real source of competitive advantage. Data mining can be used to identify the most profitable customers as well as prospects. So if you know who your most profitable customers are, you can retain them better and also build a customer profile and find other prospects or customers like them. And then for your campaign management, you're developing a product or service offering customized benefits for the appropriate customer segment, and then pricing and communicating these offerings for the purpose of enhancing customer relationships. If a company has identified its best customers, it should make every effort to maintain and increase their loyalty. CRM provides opportunities to cross-sell related products to some of your best customers, and marketers can use data now to target marketing communications to market segments of one to each customer. CRM can be a very powerful tool to help manage the sales process. Customer-centric approach for managing customer interaction. When we think about CRM, we put the customer at the center. We can look at their current transactions. We can also look at past relationships. We can also look for requests. Maybe they're telling us of products or services that they want or need. And we can also think about how we distribute it or what channel we use to get the right product to the right customer at the right time and at the right price. Customer-centric approach for managing customer interaction is growing in importance, and CRM is an important part of building out that relationship. Okay, so let's review again where we've been and also preview what we hope to do in Monday's class. Again, we're focusing on the marketing mix and the promotion P. In this module, we looked at the what, the why, and the how of personal selling and sales management. In our next class, we'll meet on Teams at 9:10 to 9:30, and we'll have a briefing, and then you'll work on your team project and start to think about some of how you will manage the promotional mix. We'll take a break, you'll have a quiz on these last two chapters, and then we'll meet back and continue to work on distribution or the place P as well as the promotion P. And then we'll debrief and wrap up for the day. Thank you for your time and attention on this module. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you in class soon.